Have you ever encountered someone trying to invite themselves onto a work trip that the company is paying for? Well, today's Reddit story comes from the subreddit entitled People, and the OP's friend's sister did exactly that. Let's get into it. It's from the subreddit entitled People, and it's titled, Our Friend's Entitled Sister Tried to Force Her Way into Our Trip to Egypt. On November 2019, me and a couple of my friends, who I will call Haley, Rose, and Rachel, were given an opportunity to travel to the Valley of the Kings in Egypt. Note that we are archaeology graduates. While our families and friends were excited and proud of us of being able to go on this trip, Rachel's family did not feel the same way. Rachel's younger sister, who I'll call Lisa, was the golden child of the family. Anything she wanted, her parents gave to her, while Rachel had to take out student loan to pay for college. Lisa's parents paid for her tuition, only for Lisa to drop out 2 years in. Instead, Lisa chose to try and build a career being a model and influencer on Instagram. While Rachel mentioned that she was going to Egypt with us, that our plane tickets and accommodations have been already taken care of for the archaeological fieldwork, Lisa got jealous as she felt that a trip taking photos of herself in Egypt for Instagram would help launch her modeling career. That said, their parents demanded that Rachel give her tickets to Lisa as they felt Lisa was more deserving of it. To which Rachel obviously said no. It was already paid for by the foundation specifically for her and our group who were trained to do this kind of work, etc. According to Rachel, she had back and forth arguments with her family leading up to the trip that she eventually just left home and moved in with her boyfriend, now husband's apartment. I held on to our plane tickets as we were all to meet at my dad's place in the morning before we head off to the airport. At the time, I still lived with my dad. That said, as me, Rachel, Haley, and Rose were at my place, just hanging out and getting ready, the car of Lisa and their mom pulled up as they came knocking on my door. Apparently, they were demanding one more time that Rachel give her ticket to Lisa. Lisa even had a couple of bags with her as well. Before I continue, just to give you a better understanding of Lisa and Rachel's family and why they may behave or think this way. Rachel is the only one in her family who has actually finished college. Rachel pretty much took care of herself for as much of her childhood as her parents were too fixated on Lisa. Their parents moved to Los Angeles from Florida to try and become actors, but failed. Moved up here for some reason, and now their dad works as a truck driver, and their mom, I think, works at a grocery store. Rachel's family treated formal education and academia in general as a joke, and didn't really support the idea of anyone going to college until Lisa decided she wanted to try going to college herself, as previously mentioned. Haley then interjected, interrupting them and pointing out again that this was not a vacation, this was an archaeological trip, and we were going there to do actual work. Haley went on to point out that it's Rachel's name on the plane ticket and our accommodation in Luxor, so she asked Lisa and her mom questions like, how do you think Lisa is going to get on the plane? Who will Lisa be traveling with in Egypt? And where will Lisa be staying there? Apparently, Lisa, despite not being friends with us at all, and her mom expected the rest of us, me, Haley, and Rose, to just somehow convince Custom to let her through and get on the flight, as well as expecting us to look after her and accompany Lisa. I should also note that apart from Rachel, nobody in her family ever traveled on the plane before. Lisa and their mom had never been overseas, and the only international traveling their dad ever did was driving trucks to and from Mexico. That said, I'm guessing this is why they don't seem to know how plane tickets or custom works, but that's just my assumption. I then pointed out to Lisa that if she really wants to go to Egypt, she could just buy her own tickets to Egypt and book her own accommodation. However, Lisa said she didn't want to do any of that, and she wanted Rachel's place in our trip, as she wanted all the expense to be paid for and for us to accompany her, as she didn't want to travel by herself. Lisa and her mom eventually left after saying that trying to argue and force her way into our trip was not getting them anywhere, with the four of us, me, Haley, Rachel, and Rose, flying off to Egypt. After the dig at the Valley of the Kings, we did get to go and do touristy stuff such as touring Cairo and seeing the pyramids of Giza. As for Lisa, while she still posts a lot on Instagram, she seems to have given up on modeling and or influencer career, as she's now just working in a warehouse. After the pandemic, she did get to go on vacation to Cancun though, but that's about it. Edit. I made it a point to print our paper copies of the tickets, as I prefer using paper rather than just showing them my phone. And needless to say, yes, we all had our passport and visas, except Lisa, who had a passport, but sure, I'm certain didn't have a visa. Wow. I don't understand Lisa and her mom forcing their way into a work trip, okay? Rachel is going on a work trip, not a vacation. Seems like Lisa and her mom seem to think that the four of them are going on a vacation, like all expense paid vacation. They're not. They're going there to work, to do archaeological work. Like, I don't understand what's not getting through their heads. Like, again, like OP pointed out, how do they think that the three of them can convince Custom to let her through, let alone get a visa to Egypt when they land there? How is she gonna go through Custom? I feel like this is definitely entitlement going on. Like, Lisa's like, oh, I'm gonna get everything that I want. Again, OP pointed out, if you want to go to Egypt, you can go ahead and go to Egypt. Pay your own expense. But no, I guess Lisa's too good to have to pay for herself, huh? Well, apparently, Rachel has been doing everything on her own. It seems like the mom has, like, no connection to Rachel. It sounds like no support to Rachel, who actually did the actual work, who actually earned this work trip, while Lisa is just trying to ride on Rachel's coattail. What is wrong with these people? Like, seriously. Like, I don't understand how the entitlement does not even, like, faze them at all. Come on. Seriously? Oh, you expect the other three friends, OP and her two other friends, to accompany Lisa? What is she? A child? Come on. Again, this is a work trip, not to have fun. Oh my God. Anyways, let's see what some of the commenters have to say about this. First commenter says, I hate the awful what's yours is mine mentality. I deal with it all too much at my job. Rachel worked her butt off for this trip. She deserves this trip. Lisa can kick rocks and sit on pine nut cone. That's right. Another commenter says, I agree on most part. Screw the pine cone and have both Lisa and her mom hop on the pineapple earth. I hope Rachel knows she is much worthy than her entitled golden child sister ever will be anything, or will ever have anything nice in her life. Yeah. Another commenter says, lol, I bet Lisa didn't have a passport and thought she could use Rachel's. That's even if she realized she needed a passport. OP does respond back by saying, she had a passport with her, but no visa. Also, it wouldn't have mattered as the plane ticket, which was on her phone, as well as the paper copies I printed out, clearly had Rachel's name on it, so Lisa wasn't going to get on that flight either way. Exactly. Let's see. Another person brought up, You can get a visa upon arrival in Egypt. Most people do that. It's only $25 and they accept USD. However, the name on her passport not matching the plane tickets would prevent her from flying at all. Honestly, this makes me suspicious. Yeah. Another commenter says, too bad you didn't take any pictures and post on Instagram just to dig at your friend's sister. I would probably do that because that's such a petty thing to do. Another commenter says, I wouldn't have been able to stop laughing at Lisa and her mom. OMG. And then a follow-up commenter says, and you know she spent a lot of effort in packing her clothes with Instagram-worthy clothes. This looks just like so Egypt. Okay. Another person brought up, you can't just give a ticket to someone since it's not 1975 anymore. Name has to match exactly. Yes, exactly. Again, how is Lisa and her mom not understanding that the passport and airplane ticket has to match? Like, how is she going to get away with having Lisa get onto the plane with Rachel's plane ticket? Doesn't even make sense. This is just cuckoo-luku. Anyways, what do you think of this story? I would love to hear about it in the comment section. And if you liked these types of stories, to continue to like and subscribe. I'll see you guys later.